Morning, everybody. How are we doing today? Today, I want to talk to you about dating, getting back into the dating scene. Somebody asked me the other day um, if and when I was going to start dating again, and right away, I come back with no. I'm not going to start dating again. For one, I told Lori before she died that she was going to be the last relationship I was ever in. But thinking about it now, that might have been I might not be able to keep that promise. But on the other side of that coin, I honestly don't know what that would look like. Because I'm retired, I don't have a whole lot of money, and dating is expensive. Dating is expensive. You know, to go out on dates and spend money at restaurants and stuff. Like, to go out at a restaurant, that's $100 bill easy between two people. And I just don't know that I could do that. I just don't know that I could do that. But you never know what the future holds. So, I'm going to keep an open mind. But I'm not going to be looking. I'm not going to be looking. And it's definitely not going to happen anytime soon, if at all. Before Lori died, we got married. And that holds a very special meaning to me. Not to mention, some of the women in this world are just whack jobs. Holy cow. I don't know that I want that kind of drama and chaos in my life at this stage of the game. I've never been one for drama and games and stuff like that. And a lot of women these days, especially younger women, that's almost a prerequisite. Got to be able to play the games. And even some older women, they just like the drama. Like, holy cow. Even Lori, sometimes I had to whoa her down a little bit. Like, whoa, easy. Don't feed into the drama. Don't feed into it. Yeah. See, but Lori was pretty special in that. She didn't ask a lot for me, and she did a lot for me, and so that made me want to do a lot for her. she looked after me. She did my laundry. She cooked for me. You know, I'm already losing weight not having her in my life because of the food she cooked. Like, holy cow. You know, and she can make stuff. I have to go through my fridge and my cupboards because there's stuff in there that I couldn't cook in a million years. I don't know. There's some stuff in there that I wouldn't cook in a million years. Lori knew what to do with that stuff. I don't. I'm pretty basic in my meal choices. There's not a lot of flash and flair there. But Lori could come up with some meals that would just knock your socks off. And even though I didn't think I would like them, I end up loving them. Part of that was the love that she put into cooking that meal. And then, you know, I like to do stuff for her. Like, you know, if there was someplace she wanted to go, you know, she used to like to go to concerts, right? So I would send her to concerts. I wouldn't necessarily go because I just don't do concerts. You know, but I would send her with her friends, or I would send her with her niece, or whoever she decided to want to go to a concert with, right? And I like to do that for her because of what she did for me, right? You know, I bought this RV for her because I wanted her to travel in comfort when we decided to take on this life of traveling and being nomads. But I know right now it's way too soon for me to even think about that. And right now my head is definitely saying no, not happening. Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready for it. Some men are. Some men can get back into the game fairly quickly. But, you know, even when Lori came along, I was single, obviously, when Lori came along. And I didn't plan on getting into a relationship with Lori. I figured when we first connected again that we were just going to be friends. And then something just happened, and we ended up hooking up, and that was it, you know. But Lori was special. She was a high value woman without being what's the word I'm looking for? Without being high maintenance. She was high value, but not high maintenance. And there is a difference. There is a distinct difference. Lori added value into my life, and I added value into hers. But Lori didn't ask for a lot. And anything that she got that was expensive, I wanted to give her because I wanted to show her that I appreciated her for everything she did for me. one of the things I miss about her is she looked after me really well. I always had clean clothes. I always had supper on the table. You know, she looked after Dory when I went out of town to work, or you know, yeah. But so to find somebody else that is willing to do that, I don't know. I don't know. And you know, there is something to be said for staying single. You know, like I said, the lack of drama. And once I get back into, you know, now I'm starting to, it's been a month and a half since she's gone, just a month and 3/4, whatever. And now I'm starting to get back into the swing of being single, right? I'm starting to cook for myself again, and you know, clean the RV, and you know, although not to the point that Lori did it, because she was pretty all over it. But now I'm starting to get back into that rhythm of being single, of cooking for myself, and of cleaning, and you know, doing laundry, and stuff like that. Although the laundry part, my mother-in-law still kind of helps with my laundry. But as for the rest of it, the cooking and the cleaning, and you know, I'm just starting to get back into it. I'm starting to you know, go to the grocery store and figure out, okay, what do I want to eat for the next, you know, couple of 3 days. And I can't really go further than a couple of 3 days right now in my meal prep, because I'm just not there yet. But you know, as time goes, and as I get used to being single again, you know, it'll come. You know, and you know, part of me is doing things to make sure that that I stay single right now. You know, you know, I'm all disheveled. You know, I haven't shaven in a few days. I haven't shaved my head in a few days. You know, I'm looking a little bit disheveled. I'm not as groomed as I could be. But that's kind of my way of staying out of the dating game. Because from what I know about women, right, they like a clean man, you know, somebody who maintains themselves. And this, I'm just kind of letting go, because right now I could care less, and this is my way of staying safe, I guess, if you want to call it that. So yeah, I don't know. As an older person, I'm kind of thinking that, you know, unless I could find um, a high value woman that would look after me the way Lori did, that has my interests, you know, that wants to travel around in a small vehicle and do stuff like that. See, and that's another thing too, is, you know, even with Lori, I bought this motorhome for Lori, and when we had the two incomes, um, we could do this, right? And mind you, we weren't going too far, you know, but we could still get out, we could still go camping, and we could still wander around, and it was still an adventure. But without Lori, I'm gonna have to scale down, as much as I don't want to, unless, you know, I win a lottery, or, you know, find a source of income somewhere that I can afford it. I can't afford to keep this thing, because the fuel to drive this around is just, this is a thirsty girl, this RV. So I'm kind of limited as to where I can go and what I can do. Whereas if I had a smaller vehicle, like a van, or a truck and camper, or what have you, I would have more options, because it's easier to wheel around, and the fuel isn't as expensive as this thing. So, you know, it would be a lot easier to get around and to go to these, you know, these lakes in the middle of nowhere, and some of these trucking roads to get back into some of these lakes. You couldn't do it in this RV. You just couldn't. It would kick the shit out of this RV. You'd break it. To find a woman in the later years of her life that is willing to live in such a small space is a huge feat. Unless, of course, they had their own, and you're traveling around together in two separate vehicles. Yeah, and I'm not quite sure how that would work. But, you know, so I personally don't think I'm going to be dating anytime soon. And I'm kind of, you know, as much as I miss Lori, when the reality kicks in that she's not coming back and I'm single now, I'm trying to remember what it was like to be single before, and how much I enjoyed that, how much I enjoyed doing what I want when I want, without having to explain it to somebody else, without having to I don't know if I call it ask permission, but to, you know, have to check in. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. When I look back, I quite enjoyed being single. I love my own company. Hell, I'm my own best friend. And that's to me, I feel that's a bit of a prerequisite. Unless, you know, you like to go out and mingle and you know, go wherever old folks go to find people. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not there yet. So I think for now, I am just going to enjoy try to learn how to enjoy being single again, and embrace it, you know. And if somebody happens to come into my life down the road, well, we'll cross our bridge when we get to it. But I'm not actively searching. But here's the thing, is that, you know, you have to be open to life, or you're going to miss opportunities. You have to be open to life, or you're going to miss opportunities. As soon as you close your mind off, you start missing out. So whenever I come across a situation, even if I don't necessarily like it, I always weigh the pros and cons. Honestly, that's the key. Weigh the pros and cons honestly, within your heart. And, you know, if you do it honestly, it might change your mind, or it might not. You know, you have to kind of weigh it out. And as long as you do that, you're going to get the most out of life, whatever it has to offer. You know, sometimes somebody will ask me to go someplace, and I think, you know, I don't really want to do that. But you know, then I think about it and I weigh it out, and it's like, you know, I've been sitting in here a lot lately, and I really should get out. And, you know, Dory could use the people time. You know, so I force myself to go out, and I end up having a great time. You know, you never know. You never know. You have to weigh it out. But yeah. But yeah. All right, people. I think I'm going to leave this here for now, and I hope you all have a great week, and I will see you next week. And remember, keep smiling. Makes everybody wonder what you're up to. See everybody.